Hi guys, it's Rose from the Philippines. Last time, my husband and I installed a ventilation fan in our van and took a little venture by a hiking trail here in the UK. This week, parked up in a lay-by, we tackled one of the biggest steps in our van build, the floor insulation. It was messy, fun, and a crucial step toward making our van cozy and a road trip ready. Let's get into it. So we are going to Yeovil, and I think we're going to buy a material to our insulation on the floor.
Yeah, we're going to work on the floor insulation today and then see how that goes. As is always the case whenever you're doing like a DIY maintenance or rehab type of deal where we have to deal with old hardware, when you want to do something, there's always a bunch of obstacles that are in the way. For example, we just wanted to lift up this wooden panel. The Phillips head screws that are screwed into the whatever that's screwed into are all stripped. So we basically had to get a pry bar to pry open the bits that we can't do. These are the controls to power this mobility ramp, which we don't need. And they're bolted in through the steel frame to the underside of the car. And of course, the guys that bolted it said, no problem. We have like 4-inch bolts, even though we only needed like basically 1.5-inch bolts. And they're all exposed underneath the body of the car, right behind the wheel. So there's just tons of mud and rust and so forth. So trying to get those lock nuts off is next to impossible. Got an adapter for my little impact driver. It won't even move the needle. I'm trying to use this, and look, there's not a lot of leverage. It's really hard work. What I'm gonna end up doing is screwing those nuts all the way back up to the top and getting a cutoff wheel and just cutting off all those bolts, because I don't want to deal with this for 3 bolts, let alone the one that we're only halfway down for. It's this kind of stuff that makes the process a lot more difficult. The actual build, if you have a brand new van and you're starting from scratch, is likely much, much easier, but having to deal with a lot of the old stuff first are the obstacles. It's the same with basically doing a renovation with the house. You have to deal with all these little problems along the way before you can actually do the renovation. And I just wanted to say, it's not all easy.
There's in your shirt say give up.
Yeah, exactly. I have my shirt, which is appropriate today, because I felt like giving up like 5 times. I won't go this far, not yet. We'll see at the end of the day.
We tried to unscrew the bolts, but they were so rusty it was nearly impossible, so we ended up cutting them off instead. It actually took us about 4 hours to cut the bolts and reassemble all the wiring connected to the ramp's motor. We'll be selling the ramp later on, but for now, that's done and we can finally get started on insulating the floor. We just arrived in this, what is it called?
The lay-by.
The lay-by, and I'm kinda scared because there's some people who actually throw that shit. What's that called?
I guess they call it fly tipping here.
Fly tipping, so
They dumped a bunch of shit on the side of the lay-by. And we've been to this lay-by before, about a week ago, and there was no trash there.
since we're living in the van while doing this, it's a bit of a challenge. We started with the back part of the van. We moved everything we had back there up to the front. Once it was cleared out, we removed the old flooring, gave everything a good clean, and got it ready for measuring and laying down the floor framing. So we put already what is that called, darling?
We put some furring strips, which are basically the same thickness as our insulation board, which is right up there. Tonight we're just gonna lay the boards on top of it and put the bed down so we can put the bed down, but tomorrow we put the insulation in between these furring strips. I'm gonna put some more furring strips around the wheel well there.
Yeah.
To give it a bit more support. Maybe around here too.
Yeah.
But basically, they'll be going in between the furring strips. I may run some conduit, but I'm thinking of just running my conduit in the walls, so I don't have to worry about the floor. But that's basically it for tonight. It's too dark. It's like
9, 10, 11.
It's almost 10 p.m. So right now I'm just putting up these temporary wooden beams across the van so that we can store all of these side panels. Because I'm not sure yet if we're going to just reuse these, because we are going to reface the walls with, you know, some kind of decorative item. Probably not shiplap, because I think that weighs too much. But we can use this as sort of the sheathing that goes over all of the studs that I'm going to put in later. And I don't want to waste it. But we also need access to these walls, particularly for down there, because I'm reusing these subfloor panels. And as you can see, since I've raised the floor up for the insulation, these don't go against the wall underneath this. So I need to either cut that off down there or raise this whole thing or just remove it temporarily. So we've opted for the removal, but where are we going to put this while we're living in the van? So I've just created these little cross beams, and just like this insulation panel, we're gonna store it all up here.
He's removing this thing so we can remove this and put in the top. After realizing that the side panel was too big to fit in from the back, we removed the wooden crossbeam in the roof. We then pushed the side panel up to the top of the roof, put the crossbeam back in to secure it, and now we can work freely on the floor. So we already put the second one, and then we're going basically the same on this one and just do all over.
We're fitting them right now, and then afterwards we're gonna put foam underneath in the shallow bits.
Yeah.
And also in between wherever there's gaps. And then we're gonna put them in and put the board on top, and then basically the foam will expand to all the little gaps. This is plywood. It's only 1/4 inch plywood, but it's pretty strong. And with the rigidity of this plus the foam and the battens, and then this isn't even going to be like proper floor. It's just for the garage area. I'm basically going to put a 4 foot by 8 foot by probably 12 centimeter platform that goes all the way back from here, from the center, which is where and it's going to be a little box. And I'll be able to store, 4 by 8 sheets of plywood or other wood. Let's say I want to do a job, I'll be able to get 4 by 8 sheets of plywood and throw them in the back and be able to work on this and work on other projects.
So we already fit all the foam, and then now we just, what is it called?
Well, we fit the styrofoam. Now what we're going to do is lay down some expanding foam, insulating foam, in all the gaps and in the recesses, and then we're just going to gently place the styrofoam on top. We're going to make sure that all these cracks around the edge are filled in, and then we're going to lay this on top. But before we do all that, I'm going to mark this out where all the studs are on either end, so we can make a line so we know where we can screw into. When using one of these foam guns,
yeah, because we're going to fill up the gap here. We ran out of expanding foam, so he's going to put that thing. It's still expanding foam.
So I basically put the plywood subfloor back over all the battens. I foamed around all the cracks in between the joists.
Yeah, and
in some cases I put too much foam, as you can see. but that's easy to cut away. And I basically just used the same piece that was here, except now there's proper insulation under it. And I think that's going to work for our needs anyway. I'm still going to put a floor on top of this, so this is really just, you know, not going to be seen.
Yeah.
And might as well reuse materials where you can. We're going to my aunt's house to pick up some stuff that for some reason the UK doesn't let you send to like an Amazon locker. Well, some of it was too big. But other, like I ordered some replaceable razor blades for my box cutter knife. And like they need a signature for that to make sure you're over 18. You know what I mean? And also we need to go to B&Q, which is like sort of like a low rent Home Depot in the UK to pick up some more wood for like 3 times the price. We have to go to Wickes, another store, to get like our low rent 10-pound styrofoam board instead of like the XPS foam board, because the XPS foam is like 35 pounds and it has the same R value. It's just obviously easier to work with than the styrofoam that just kind of breaks apart into a million little white dots, which is environmentally friendly, I think, because isn't all plastic made from petroleum, and petroleum comes from the earth, which must mean it's eco-friendly, right?
After picking up the package and gathering all the materials, we headed back to our favorite spot to work on the other side of the floor. So we go back on this place, which where we actually got damage in this one.
Yeah, but we weren't so scared this time.
Yeah, it's called lesson learned.
Yeah, it's like also called what's the worst that can happen? We just do it again, hopefully to the same side.
So yeah, this is our favorite spot. It's really peaceful. We're just here.
We did the back half, now we're doing the front half.
Yeah. So we're just gonna unscrew everything. After clearing out the front part of the van and moving everything to the back, we got to work on the floor. Some of the screws were so rusty we had to break out the screw bar to get them all out. Once the floor was removed, we started cleaning everything up, getting it ready for the insulation. So we remove everything like this in the side, so it's easy to work with.
We're gonna finish eventually, but this will be a finished step. So this is just in the way. All this hardware is kind of in the way.
While I was busy cleaning up the floor, my husband got to work cutting all the wood we needed to frame it. So I'm using alcohol to wipe it.
Rubbing alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, it's basically makes it clean and makes any adhesives and paint that we put on the surface really stick to it. We're just gonna put some like rust primer around all the holes that we found in the floor, so that no rust continues. You know, basically the rubbing alcohol just makes it easy to put our adhesive, which we're putting below the battens, so that it basically prevents the metal and the wood from rubbing up against each other and causing a bunch of squeaks as this thing begins to vibrate while it's moving. It's an extra step, but I think it's definitely worth taking in any application where you have movement, which, you know, a van definitely does. That bottle broke as soon as it dropped. We bought it like 2 days ago. That's what you get when you spend only £1 on a bottle.
So we are measuring and cut the wood, the things that we need to put where, which and where. We are screwing every wood, every frame, and then unscrew it later and put this thing. This is white thing. I don't know what it's called. And then screw it again. now we are going to unscrew it and put that white thing. What's that called, darling?
We're just gonna put this adhesive,
Adhesive.
sound deadening nails, whatever, liquid nails. She's cooking dinner in the middle of our floor job. We got hungry.
Yeah, we need dinner because it's almost 8 now.
Yeah, it's almost 8, so we're gonna have a quick dinner, and then we just gotta put in the styrofoam, and then foam, and then we basically put on the floor afterwards.
Yeah, and
Exciting.
we're gonna put the tea and our dinner, which is toast.
Yeah, we're doing it poor people English style. Baked beans on toast.
Yeah, literally. So we already finished dinner. Now we're going to start working again. So we're going to cut, what is that, the styrofoam, and put it on here. But I need to pack some of the things. So we already put the foam, and then we're going to,
This is the styrofoam board.
yeah, and then we put the expanding foam.
Expanding
Foam in the bottom and the other side, and then put the board and screw it.
And then screw it all in.
Yeah, it's already 10 p.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's
But
almost,
it's sundown already, and we only have like about 20 more minutes of light.
yeah. Now we just put in back all the tools that we used and these boxes as well, and our stuff in the back. It's really dark now. So we are going to the gym because it's been many days that we don't take a shower. We've been working all day. So today we're going to the gym, we're going to the laundry and buy some another material to build our bed, right?
Yep.
And that's a wrap on our floor insulation. Next time, we'll be putting together a box platform for storage under the floor, a huge step for keeping our van organized and able to transport building materials. And after that, we build our bed frame, which we do in a lay-by on the way to Birmingham. Don't forget to subscribe so you will be the first to know when our next video comes out. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!